we go. Hello, man. Hello, Mgtow. See if I can get my sound check here. Oh, there we go. Hello, man. Yeah, just scoot the chair up and everything. Hello, Chewy. How are you today? I guess the subject today is going to be respect. There's a lot of thoughts that go into respect. There's a lot of people say respect is earned. A portion of respect is earned. I think authoritarian expect accelerated respect, respect for like a doctor or a police officer or a government official or a teacher. That's what I would call accelerated respect, and that kind of respect's earned through their profession. There's a basic kind of human respect that every person should give, and I notice a little lack of that in Mgtow and on the internet too. Especially on the internet, we have people hiding behind avatars, so there's a lack of basic respect for human beings, for people. When I look at this thing, I look at it from my point, from me. People look at me, they know me, and they know who I am. They know what I look like. They, most of the time, I'll tell you where I live and all that stuff. And so there's no hiding behind an avatar here. When I go out there, I try to give a little bit of basic human respect. I talk about this a lot with Jill, the sandwich girl at the where I go get my Subway sandwiches, and we have a perfectly great relationship. I walk in, she says, "Hey, Joe, what do you want?" And I say, I want that, maybe basically the normal thing I get. She says, "Okay, Joe," and she makes it, and I hand her $6.75 now. It used to be $5, but it's $6.75 now, and she gives me the she gives me the sandwich. I stick a couple bucks in the tip jar and I walk away. There's no. I have I have a vast amount of respect for her sandwich making skills, and I suppose she has a vast amount of my respect for for me being a customer and being a decent customer. This is a basic human respect when you meet the guy at the gas station and you're nice and you're kind, and you tell them, "Hey, you're doing a great job." And that's something most people don't do. There's a lot of people in this world that don't give a basic amount of human respect to anybody, from a car wash attendant to a door waiter to a the guy that serves you your dinner and the cook in the back that makes it. I got a huge amount of respect for all these people. They make my life wonderful. Living in America is a wonderful thing. It's a privilege to live here in America, and it's a privilege. I was reading a little while ago about South Africa, and then people that live in the city have these basic commodities, and they're very, and the people that don't live in the city, they don't have those basics. They don't take their kids out to dinners at restaurants, and they don't get to go to the movie theater, and they don't have cable, and the things that it was like growing up in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. When I was growing up, there was no cable. We had 5 channels. We were happy with that. When I wanted to go to the pizza store or the convenience store, I had a good 7-mile walk. And I appreciate these things, and I give these people a lot of respect. Yesterday, I went into the it was a holiday, and I went into the Save-A-Lot, and the Save-A-Lot was open, and I was like, wow, it's great. I can go get something, for dinner. And it was late, and I was running late, and I was running late today too. That's why I'm doing this late. And the summer is really busy for me. But the guy was there was 2 guys there, and they were making double time, they say, and and yeah, what do you need? Hold on a second, guys. Okay, let me close this for 1 second. I'll be right back. No, I'm cool. Sorry about that, guys. We were talking about respect, the basic amount of respect. And when I go into the grocery store, and the guys were working, and they were working hard, and they were getting double time, and but they were the only ones there. And I saw how grateful I was to have two guys that really wanted to, work on the holiday. And I have a lot of respect for that kind of work. And I told the guy, I appreciate you being here, and that shows a basic amount of respect I have for people. But what I really wanted to talk to is I listen to a lot of these. I listen to a lot of these. I don't know if you call them feminists or what you would call them, the females on the internet, and one of the things that always rolls off their tongue is, "Hey, you got to have respect for the women. You have to respect women." And I was thinking, well, that's the most silly thing in the whole world. And then I started rolling through my mind what respect was, and if you earn respect, and what exactly the meaning of respect was, and it rolls a lot into gynocentrism being an automatic. You put somebody automatically on this pedestal. So if we go over we go into meaning of respect, and the meaning of respect is a deep feeling of admiration for someone, or illicitly by their abilities, qualities, or achievements, and particularly to the point in points and details of, like a teacher, like I was, or a governor, or someone like that. To admire someone deeply. I don't admire most people deeply. I don't notice most people. We were talking about this lack of respect, and I hear this out of you just have to respect women, and we see all these things that roll off of this. Sometimes respect is earned. Sometimes that's an accelerated respect, like I was talking about, and the other thing is a decent amount of human respect for the people in your area or the people you talk to. I don't just jump into someone and say, I hate you and I disrespect you for no reason at all. They have to earn disrespect too, and earned respect is sort of an accelerated respect, like I would said. But there's a basic amount of human respect, and we started talking about this morning. We were talking about we watched a video, and we were talking about we were talking about anti-feminism and Mgtow and the MRA, and there's a total disrespect for feminists from anti-feminists because of the presupposition of anti-feminists. It's not that they hate the person; they hate the title, they hate the idea of that. They dislike the idea. Mgtow's not really like that. We show a decent amount of respect for anybody that comes around, and then as long as they maintain a decent amount of respect for us, that's the way humans are supposed to interact. It's like I said, you go to the grocery store, and you may have a better job or a better title or a better than that person, but man, I respect that guy. He was there on the only reason I eat on holidays with one grocery store and this food desert we have around. We have one grocery store, and it's 10 miles this way and 10 miles this way and 10 miles and 10 miles, and you don't have nothing. So we all go to the same store, and they keep it open for us a reasonable amount of time. And these guys were working on a holiday so we can buy our stuff, and I respect the heck out of that. These hardworking men that do that they just got the utmost respect, and that's what I talk about when I say we're working in agriculture and they've earned the right to eat. These guys have earned the right to eat the rest of their lives, and no one should ever question to eat the rest of their. And if you question that, these people, these people work in agriculture all their life. Hello, Red Bull Jack. Let me say some hellos here. Hello, Leo, Chewy, Asistoli, and Kasuppa Fresh. That's a neat name. I always get off on the names that some people come around with, and but we're talking about a decent basic sort of respect with people. I respect all the guys that come around, Red Bull Jack and Chewy and the new guys too. I don't generally judge somebody on their face value or something because of their avatar or because of some stupid thing like that, or he's got an ugly avatar, so I know what he is like in real life. But we got this basic amount of Shrek, and I don't think that's the respect that I don't think that's the respect that feminists talk about. I really don't. They're talking about the kind of respect where there's a deep admiration, and a feeling of admiration that's from some accelerated. They feel they got some accelerated ability or some quality that we have to respect, and I don't believe in forced respect too. Like I say, I walk through this world and I see hundreds of people a day, and I pass up hundreds of people a day, and I hardly notice that they exist. The only ones that I notice exist, there's the idiot that's parking in a fire lane, or someone gets a little too close to me with their car, or someone's doing something stupid. Uh, then people are being disrespectful to the system. If a guy's blowing down the highway at 90 miles an hour and he blows right by me, I'm thinking, man, he can get an accident. He can hurt some people. There is no respect. That person he's got no respect for uh, for society or the social norms and those things that we should all respect the society and the social norms and all that stuff, and that's how you show respect. We live in a society here that's built on social norms. If you didn't realize that, the norms become the laws and the laws become the rule of the land, and that's what you have to do to survive. Is respect earned? That's where you hear a lot of people go, man, respect is earned, and you got to earn that. No, no, not really. There's two kinds of respect. There's an accelerated respect for, like I said, leaders, and there's this just decent. The girl that works at the convenience store, and she knows exactly what cigarettes I want, and she knows exactly, and she says hello, and she teaches me. I have a decent amount of respect for those people, and I don't have to. I could treat them badly, and I see a lot of people treat them badly, and she has a decent. That's that basic human respect that we give each other around, and we kind of veer from that in Mgtow. Uh, with this feminist thing, I would just like to question them on what kind of respect do you think what kind of respect do you think you earned? That accelerated respect, or do you want me to have this deep admiration for you? Because I don't have deep admiration for a lot of people in life. Like I said, most of the people I would walk right by and not notice them, and they'd walk right by me and not even notice that I exist. Uh, just because you live on this planet doesn't mean I have to have a deep admiration for you. Is that the kind of respect feminists want? Because that's really bizarre. That's the kind of respect that most people want is when you earn it, and earned respect is an accelerated respect. Like if I'm a EMT, I am an EMT, but I'm not that kind of EMT. There's two kinds of EMTs. There's electromechanical technician, and there's this emergency medical technician. So emergency medical technician come up, and my neighbor's choking and dying and get ready to die, and that guy saves his life. I'm like, man, I got so much respect for that dude. That cat's wonderful, and that's an accelerated respect. I don't give that kind of accelerated respect to most people in this world, unless you do something admirable, worthy of praise. I'm not going to do it. I'm not the guy that is going to just walk up to people. Man, I got so much respect for you and you and you and you, and all you people deserve an accelerated respect. No, 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 that's crazy. Um, but with the women and the feminists, and I don't even know if you call them feminists. They always bring this thing up, and it confuses me when they say it. You got to respect the women, and I'm like, no, not really. I'll give you a decent amount of you're a human, I'm a human. Don't do anything to lose my respect, and you don't have to worry about that. But that's the thing there. Uh, don't do anything to lose my respect, and that's with people that come around too. We all notice this, and you deal with it on your channels. I deal with it on my channel. Most people can come around as long as they have a decent amount of human respect for people. I'm fine with them. I don't care what they say. I don't moderate anymore. I don't go down those roads where I'm picking bones, and it doesn't really matter to me. And that's a basic human respect. You have a basic human respect for my channel, and I'll have a basic human respect for you, and that's fine, and that's dandy. And it's not a kumbaya thing. I'm not saying that we're all going to get along, and I agree with their politics and their spirituality and their choice of baseball and football teams. Them are arguable points all the time. You can expect to do the arguable points on those things, and that's not something that's going to earn you respect. Being a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, you don't get no respect. I'm not giving any respect for that. I mean, that's craziness. That's absolutely bizarre. What kind of respect are they talking about? Is that basic human respect? And if feminism and women are talking about that accelerated respect, they just go pound nails. I'm not really into that. If they're talking about that basic human respect, I think 99% of the people in the world, except for maybe narcissists and crazy people, have basic human respect for everybody. I can go around Twitter and everybody knows it's Traversable Mgtow when I put myself out. Everybody knows I'm a Mgtow, but I often try to discuss things with the Me Too people, and I have friends that call themselves feminists and everything, and it doesn't bother me because I have a basic amount of decent, and as long as decency in me, it's just I don't automatically disrespect somebody. But when we start sorting these things in MGTOW and the MRA and anti-feminism and skepticism and everything, there's some of the men, there's a basic amount of disrespect that they have for most people, and it shows. It really does show, and like I said, this presupposition of anti-feminist is you're anti-feminist. You're not going to respect those people, and you're just not going to do that. That's a lack of. But these are the people that the feminists see. Like I said before, there's a great example when you walk down the street. You're not going to notice all the people. And that's in here when you're walking down a metaphysical street here, and most of the people I'm not going to notice at all. They're just moving around, doing their thing, talking about their stuff. I don't really care what they talk about. They're doing their thing, and hey, man, that's great and groovy. It's groovy that we have this place to do this on. But the people that you are going to notice are usually the ones that are disrespectful. Them are the people parking in the fire lane. Them are the people that bump into you with their carts or throw their cart out and leave their cart in the middle of the they're leaving their cart in the middle of the parking lot there, and it gets caught by the wind and it rolls and it bumps. That's very disrespectful. Them are the people you notice in life, the people robbing people, the people stealing, the guys that are doing crazy stuff at the convenience store, hanging out front and smoking pot and shit like that. There's no respect for they're getting smart ass with people coming in and catcalling and that stuff. That's not giving a decent amount of human respect. Them are the people you notice, but that's not 100% of society. Most people have this basic respect thing where they walk in the store, they walk out, they walk in the gas station, they walk out, and you never even notice they're there. Most of them are very pleasant. So there is a two different tier thing here that we're talking about, a several different tier, and we got these people on the bottom. Them are the people that you are going to notice most of the time in life. But around here, it's the thing that you do notice these people, but they'll never believe that everybody in the world's like that. And it's crazy. It's a crazy delusion to believe that everybody in the world, all those red-haired girls out there, they're all like they want to hurt you, they want to kill all men, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous, and that's a ridiculous concept that some of them have. And some of them take that way too far into la la land and metaphysical land. And it's the same thing you see. We get posed at us as Mgtow. These guys come around and they berate us. Oh, you guys are fags, and you guys are simps, and you guys are pussies, and you're not getting none. So they measure their world by what they're getting, and I'm like, no, that's just not true. And that's a lack of basic human respect. But these people are funny because most of the time when they make a video about Mgtow and they're like, man, you guys are just and then it gets to be a pretty rough place, and they're like, you see, you Mgtows are, so they provoke it and they treat people badly, and they have a basic disrespect for the world, and then they expect that like I said, disrespect is earned too. When you get all that disrespect and people start, when the Mgtows go over there and they start hammering them and they start calling them names, there's a basic amount of disrespect, and they've earned it because they don't respect the world and themselves. But it's just funny when the women around, and I listen to occasionally a lot of the women's the feminist, and there's like, oh man, you just got to respect women with this deep admiration, and that's where we put that's the gynocentrism thing. When we put them on a pedestal, they expect to be they expect to have that accelerated respect, like a teacher or a lawyer or I'm not a lawyer. I don't know, lawyers deserve no respect. But like a police officer or a public service person, or even that person that works at the Save-A-Lot that kept the store open on a holiday for you, that deserves more respect, than that. You don't just get an accelerated respect. But I think that's the one they're talking about, and that really bothers me because I don't deserve an accelerated amount of respect for what I do unless you're in my trade and you see what I do. And there's an admiration for what I do and everything, but I don't walk out into the street and say, hey, all you people, you should have this admiration, this deep admiration for me because I'm a swell guy. No, I do have a certain amount of ego and a certain amount of, I think I'm the best thing uh, since Jesse James and someone invented butter. I love myself, and I have a deep respect. I have a deep self-respect for myself, and I think a lot of people should have a little more self-respect for themselves too. You see the simps and the beggars and everything got no self-respect for themselves, and they don't. All that begging and wimping and crying, and it's like the Eli thing when he was begging and crying for what was his girlfriend's name? I can't remember. He's like, yeah, it's like that was very disrespect. Showed a total lack of disrespect for himself. He has no self-respect. And then now you can start measuring a person. You can't get my respect if you have no self-respect for yourself. Hold yourself in high esteem. That's what they're saying. Hold yourself in high esteem. I like people that hold themselves in high esteem. I don't care what they look like or where they are. If they walk in, their heads up, and they look you in the eye, and they say, "Hey, I'm here and I'm going to help." I mean, I'm that guy. I'm that go-getter. I'm Mr. That. I like that in a person. I think the ego is a beautiful thing in male. When he walks onto a job and he looks at a 2,000 ton press, and we got to fix a bearing, and the bearing's blown, and you look at that, and this guy's like, let's get to this. I'm a make that machine my bitch. I respect that guy, and I work with a lot of guys like that over the years, from crane repairmen to what I do for electricians to EMTs to guys that put shafts and broken down machines, and that's I got to, these guys have to have a really high ego, from machinists to millwrights to electricians to setup men, and all those guys on the floor. You got to have a deep kind of self-esteem, a lot of self-esteem, and you got to have this self-respect for yourself, and you got to have some ego to go along with that, or else you're not going to make it in those shops. Those shops are rough places. Hello, Red Pill. Did I say hello, Red Pill Jack, and everybody? So what the question was, with all that said, I hear these newspaper and the media, and I hear the women talking around there, and I hear the feminists. It's like, you guys just don't respect women. And it's like, well, it's not a question that it's not a question that I'm going to ask myself, because like I said, I don't give respect to 99.9% of the world. I walk by them, and I try to be kind, and I try to not be noticed. There's not some deep admiration for someone getting in their car, and I'm like, whoa, dude, you just got into that car so groovy. That would be an awful place to live. It's like, dude, I seen you open that door. Wow. As we walking down, riding my bike, and I'm like, man, you took the garbage cans out like a pro. It's like, no, it's the way you just walk. It's the way you cut your grass. No, I don't notice those things. There's nothing in it. It's just common living, and I have a basic amount of respect for somebody that just I meet on the street. The only, like I said, the only people I really notice is people doing stupid things. I mean, I drive into Cleveland once, twice a week, and man, I drive into that town, and there's never a dull moment when you drive into that town and you get into the inner city, and you're like, I'm going to see something stupid. I'm going to see somebody every day doing something so disrespectful that it's going to make me crazy, and I'm going to try not to notice it. But that's one person. But them are the people you notice. Those people, like I said, yeah, them are the people that you noticed. And a lot of times in the MRA and men's rights and Mgtow, and that we get attached to the MRA, these people get noticed by feminism, because they do have this and these anti-feminists, they like to use the C word, and they're running around, they're being very disrespectful, and we get attached to those people. And with that bond, we automatically get chunked in with the MRA. And I don't think Mgtow's anything like the MRA. I think there's vast differences in the MRA and Mgtow. Like I always try to say, Mgtow is once you get to Mgtow, what does feminism matter? Really, it has no way to affect your life at all. I hear these guys bitching and complaining about feminism, and I'm like, well, what could it possibly, if you were a Mgtow, it wouldn't matter to you. Because how could it possibly matter to you? You're not bringing them around. You're not working for them. You're not buying them sandwiches. You're not buying them dinners. There's none in your house. So what does it matter to you? It's like, wow. Once you are Mgtow, that can mean, it's like me just running off to some the Lutheran church, or saying is like, I hate you people. It's like, and I'd be like, why? And I'll be, because, it's like, it doesn't matter to me that these people exist. It doesn't matter to me that a lot of people exist on this world. Like I said, I'm going to walk by them. I'm not going to disrespect them, and I'm not going to give them an accelerated amount of respect. Having the ability to drive just doesn't impress me. Having the ability to walk into the store like a human and get what you need, try to make it through the cash register and get out, and have a decent amount of human respect for people while you're doing that. That shouldn't be a question or a matter. You should just have that. And like I said, the only people you're going to notice in this planet are the people doing stupid things. And but that seems to be around here, is like we talk about it all the time. We talk about we see the articles every day. We're saturated with garbage. All we see is the people doing stupid things. That's not the whole world. That's not 99% of the world. 99% of the world, I just don't even care that exists. I'll argue the points based on logic and intelligence. But I'm not going to argue the points based on just some crazy idea, because there's this supposed. That's why I call it. I say these people are fencing with dragons that believe in feminism. There's these evil feminists out there. They're the dragons that are going to fence with them. It just points them out to me, really. And maybe there's 5, 6, 7 of them that I know of on the internet. That's not even close to 6 billion people. I mean, offhand, I can probably count like 6. Like there's Jen, and she doesn't bother me at all. And there's Jessica Valente. She doesn't bother me at all. There's that purple hair girl. She doesn't bother me at all. Sometimes the Me Too girl, she doesn't bother me. She doesn't come around and stalk me. And she has a basic amount of humor. I have a basic amount of human respect for her. Do your thing. I don't care. I'm a Mgtow. None of that stuff matters to me. I'm not going to get accused of rape because I'm not raping women. I'm not going to be accused of a sexual assault because they're not coming in this house. It doesn't matter to me. Once you're a Mgtow, all that stuff just goes. It doesn't matter to me. Argue those things out somewhere else, and. But what really bothers me is that accelerated respect that's supposed to be given to women. I don't have to give anybody accelerated. Most of the time, I don't give accelerated respect to most people in this world, because I don't get accelerated respect. I'm a blue collar worker. Imagine what it's like for me as a blue collar worker. I'm an EMT basically. So I walk into a shop. I got my dirty clothes on, and I've done this hundreds of times in my life. I've gone to thousands of shops, and I walk into the shop, and I've got a basic decent education. I went to the electrician school. I went to the EMT school. I was a millwright for 8 years. I've got a lot of time invested in this, more than a doctor has in his profession, in most cases. And, I've taken hundreds of seminars and hundreds of courses just to learn threads on bolts and shit like that. But I walk in, and I pretty much, I look, the girl behind the desk, the secretary she looks at me like I'm this filthy blue collar worker, and I have twice the education as her. And that's a serious lack of respect. And I think that when we talk about the feminists, and they say they want respect, I think that would be the bar right there. When I walk into a blue collar person, and we dealt with this a little while ago with on the last podcast, Fox News ran a thing about the guy from the Cosby Show. He was working at a Trader Joe's. So they're like, look at him. He's working at a Trader Joe's. Like, they're disrespecting all the people in the world that work at Trader Joe's. And I got the utmost respect for those people too. They ship me stuff. They do this. I get my coffee sometimes from them. Wow. Hey, fine. That's great. I love those people. They don't bother me. But Fox News had a total amount of disrespect for those people when they said that. And it just irritated me. I was like, yeah, like we're supposed to respect you. And like I said, disrespect is earned too. And I probably disrespect them after that more than I respect them. But most of the people, I just, if they would shut their mouths, I wouldn't even notice that they even exist. But, most people, you don't show a total disrespect for the entire working class of America, because those are the people that are, providing you with your food on your shelves and everything like that. And they're wonderful people, and they do a great job. And that's what I tell them every time. Every time I make this point. I went on this little course about 20 years ago, and not 20 years, it might have been about 15 years ago. It was the one I talked about with the photo course, and we were taking photographs of. I took a photograph course, and we're taking photographs of the world. It was more about your inner self. It was like some hippie shit, and it was at a hippie thing, and there was this commune and everything, and I was trying to, get back into the world and not hate everything. And after my illness, I was like really kind of depressed at that point. So I went and I took this photograph course that was like some hippie stuff, and it was cool. But what it taught me was, the way you look at the world is the way that you look at the lens of the camera. And I first got there, and they said, take pictures of everything around your area. And I'm taking a picture, and it's an ugly picture of this horrible landscape. And I was like, look at, there's a fire plug. And I took a picture of a fire plug and a prostitute. And I was like, oh, there's a prostitute standing in a doorway. I took a picture of that. And then you look at my pictures at the beginning of this course, and they're really just kind of, man, they look like inner city garbage. And you could tell where I was at that point in my life, the way I looked at people, the way I looked at the world and everything. And then I took this 2-week course, and they're really nice. And we did this aromatherapy, and we talked about our feelings and shit. We walked around nature, and we picked out plants and flowers and stuff. And this is edible, this is not edible. And after that 2 weeks, they gave us these little cameras back, and they said, go take some more pictures. And after 2 weeks of all this wonderful hippie stuff, and mind relaxing, numbing, head massages and shit, I was in a better place. And I could see it when I took the photographs. I could see the way I looked through the lens and then I thought, wow, it's much better being like that, looking through the beautiful lens of this world, when I have more respect for people, and I'm not so depressed, and I'm not so unhappy and everything. And I think that's what Mgtow is about. When you're not so down on everybody and so depressed and and you're hating these feminists out there, and they want to kill us. And no, there's nobody out there at my door that wants to kill me, and nobody wants to hurt me. And uh, I loosened up in life, and I loosened up a lot. But the psychiatrist there, and I won't tell you his name because it's really funny. It's really funny, but he would know. And he's like, Joe, just when you walk through life, just when you get up to the counter and the girl's sitting there, and she's there on a Sunday, and she's working, just tell her, hey, you did a great job, and I appreciate you being here. And thanks a lot for getting my smokes and my pop. That was great. I love you and that stuff. And he says, do that. And so I started doing that to everybody. I started doing it to the gas station attendant, and I started being happy. What I found is I found self-respect in myself after. And then I came back to him about 2 weeks, and I says, Doctor, blah, 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 whatever his name is. And I says, you were right. The happier I am when I go into the store and I tell, hey, you do a great job on your stuff. Thanks for being here, because without you, life wouldn't be the same for me, and I just appreciate it. And you should tell everybody, from the guy at the Trader Joe's to the guy at the convenience store to the gas station attendant to the grocery store, wherever you go, to the person, and hey, thanks a lot for being there, and I appreciate you. And what you do when you do that is you gather this inner self-respect for yourself. And it's more for you. You would think that doing an outward action like that, an accelerated outward action would be for them. But I did notice after a while, I'm happier, they're happy to see me, I'm happy to see them. When I go to the chicken counter, instead of getting 3 pieces of chicken, I started getting 4 pieces of chicken, and that little wink like, hey, you're my favorite customer. And when I go up to the gets pop, and she'll, yeah, the pop's on me today, Joe. And I go to the sandwich, and just treating people with a decent amount of respect. Once in a while, she's like, hey, here, have a sandwich, Joe. Don't worry about it. And things start working out better for you in your life if you just have a decent amount of respect for people around you. Things will work out better for your in your job. People, it'll work out better on YouTube. It works out better. And I wish you guys would practice that. If you don't do that already, when you go into the store, if it's a donut shop, especially too, if you go into the donut shop, get your morning donuts, just be happy and tell her how much you appreciate them being there. And sooner or later, you're going to notice an extra donut in your sack. And they're gonna reciprocate that kind of decent human respect, and that's the kind of decent human respect I'm talking about, where you can walk into a place and it smiles and says, hey, Joe. And I'm like, hey, Jill. And hey, Bob. And hey, Sam, what's up? And great coffee you made me yesterday. That was a good cappuccino. And, it starts getting better. You can either, you start complaining about everything. You can expect to get your food spit in then. I used to know this person. She tried to get a free meal everywhere they went, and they just hated everybody. And I was like, all they're going to do is they're going to give you shitty food now, and they're going to spit in your food because you've earned disrespect. And it's just, you would think that this would be common knowledge in the world too. And it would be common knowledge around Mgtow, and it would be common knowledge in the MRA. Don't disrespect those people. And I'll tell you what, they won't disrespect you. And I don't worry about what feminists do because it matters nothing in my life. I don't keep them around here. I don't have none around here. They don't come visit me. They don't boycott in front of my house. What I see of it is usually a photograph on a Google ad for a slut walk or something like that. But that doesn't influence me at all. And a matter of fact, that doesn't bother me one itsy bitsy little bit. It doesn't matter at my life. It ain't going to get the bearings lubed, and it ain't going to get the electric done. It just matters very little to me. If they're marching through my, when I'm at the salad bar at the Ponderosa or something, maybe it wouldn't matter to me. I'll be like, get the hell out of here. You're running, and you're showing a lack of respect for the people in there. But they don't do that. I'm sure they don't. But I think you're going to find most of the time in life that, and it's a hard thing to get over sometimes. It's a hard thing. Sometimes you're just being mean. Somebody was talking about the old mean Joe, and I was like, yeah, when I have to drive, when I get irritated, driving is the biggest stressful thing in my life, and I get irritated. And I says, you don't want that. You really don't want that guy around coming home. You don't want that guy, being around you when you come around us, because he was mean and he is nasty, and I mean, I remove all those stressful things from my life pretty much, and I could take an Uber cab and do whatever I want now. It's just like you'll find that your insurance money, your car payment, your gas, and everything, you balance that out, and then it's $6 a day for me to take an Uber cab wherever I want to go, and I'm like, 12. It's like, yeah, that I would have paid that anyways for a new car, and so it de-stresses my life, and I remove a lot of things like that from my life that are stressful. Like I talk about all the time, those things that you with the friends that there always some problem with this friend, and there's some drama over here. I cut that thread. Like, please go away. Please, I don't need that no more in my life. I don't want to have a heart attack at 55 years old. That would be horrible. It's like, because I keep disrespectful friends that keep bringing drama into my life and everything. And I hope that most of you know that, the friends you keep are the friends that will drag you down too. And, dirty people will get dirt all over you. Choose those friends carefully. I've cut a lot of friends in life since I started Mgtow. I just can't handle some garbage, that's always seems to be around my life. And But a basic amount of decent human respect for everybody you meet is it's just a common. I think it's common. It should be commonplace. And if people are coming around Mgtow yelling and screaming and having these thoughts that we're these people that they draw up in their mind, these horrible people, I think they're 100% wrong, because them are the people that they're pretty much saying, well, I disrespect you. And it's like, okay, well, that will get disrespect. And then they complain about, oh man, there's 100 MGTOWs coming over my channel because I made an anti-MGTOW video, and those MGTOWs are so mean. You're just no, that's stupid. You disrespect earns disrespect. It's like, yeah, it's it's like, man, are you an idiot? And but that's what we see around here a lot, a lot. And respect is if you want an accelerated respect, hell, here on YouTube, there's nothing you can really do for me. There's nothing that's so grand that I'm gonna. So man, I have this huge amount of admiration for your avatar. It's like, no. I mean, are you an avatar designer? It's like, fuck. No, it doesn't buy you that. There's no accelerated respect for that. It's like, but just a decent around. Just tell people, hey, you're okay. I like you, and thanks for being around. And that's where I usually end these things. Is without Mgtow, without each and every one of you guys, Mgtow wouldn't be Mgtow, and I have a deep admiration for each one of you guys, because you guys actually do something that nobody else in the whole world. It takes courage to be a Mgtow, and that's how you get my admiration. So you do something courageous, and you speak out for a truth that in this world that men sometimes get, men a lot of most of the time get. They get the short end of the stick, and there's some magic place in most people's head that we're so privileged, when no, that we're not privileged beings. We have to work hard. We die earlier. Our jobs suck most of the time, and we get total amounts of disrespect from the world around us. Just walk up with a working man shirt on, and they don't see you; they see the shirt. Uh, yeah, men have to go through a lot, but around here, I think we know the difference between these things. We know the difference you know, between people, and I think MGTOW, it just takes a huge amount of courage, and I have admiration for MGTOWs, because you show courage when you do this. We're trying to fight something that's been, gynocentrism has been around since I don't know when, from day one, I suppose. I guess you could have to read that Adam and Eve story, and I don't know what day one was like when we crawled out of the primordial ooze, or whatever that was like. But I think it goes back at least that far, and and that's all I wanted to talk about. Just having a decent amount of respect for the world you live in, and respect. When you show that, that'll come back to you. It's a payer system that'll always come back to you. Like I said, just go into your donut shop and be bright and cheery and thank them, and then sooner or later there'll be that extra donut in your bag, just because they like you. And that's better than having them hate you, where they crumble your donuts and give you a half a cup of coffee because you're such a dick. But with that, I think I'm going to close this thing down. And I just wanted to go over that. What respect do feminists think they deserve from us? An accelerated respect, or just a normal amount of dignity? If it's a more normal amount of human dignity, I mean, you're in the same boat as the rest of us. Suck it up, Nancy. you're in the same boat as the rest of us, and in respect, if you give it, you'll get it. Uh, that's the lesson today, and that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. Um, it's been a beautiful day. It was hot and it was muggy today. I was sweating like crazy out there, and I'm gonna relax, just drift on off here in a pretty in a short amount of time here, and thanks a lot for showing up, man, and thanks a lot most of all for being Mgtow. Mgtow.